All praises and glory goes to our mighty power Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Rakakudash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone that teach and rule well. Salutations unto the Lekman continually feeding the sheep of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai in sincerity and truth with this great gospel, man, coming out of our Bible. Coming out of our Bible, right? Right, because the only way you can wake up the children of Israel is with the words of the scriptures. The words of the scriptures, right? The Lord said to feed his sheep. And the sheep is who? Descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Right now we're in the time of for our people to wake out of sleep, right? The scripture said it is high times to awake out of sleep. And most of our people, they don't want to wake out of sleep. They want to stay in a slumber mode. They want to be the greatest American. They want to be whatever they want to be in this society, right? They don't want to return back to their power. They want to have a good time, right? When you look at a lot of our people, they just want to have fun. They became as women, right? They became as women. You got that song say, girls just want to have fun, hon. Right? And that's what you got right now. Our people, they just want to have fun. And guess what? This ain't the time for having fucking fun. All hell about to break. The Chinese ain't having fun. The Russians ain't having fun. Japanese ain't having fun. The Persians ain't having fun. They building up militaries to fight. But you ninjas, you Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, you want to go to the club, you want to have a good time, right? It says, here, let's read this. This is the book of Ecclesiastes. Let's go to 7 verse 4. It says, the heart of the wise is in the house of mourning, but the heart of the fools is in the house of mirth. Right? The heart of the wise, if you're a wise man, you're going to be in this truth, right? You're going to be feeding the sheep of the Lord. You're going to be going through this furnace of adversity, right? You're going to be suffering. You're not going to be balling. You're not going to be doing great in this society. You're going through it, right? You're going through it. Ecclesiastes 7 and 4. The heart of the wise is in the house of mourning, but the heart of fools is in the house of mirth. Right, and we see these jakes in the house of mirth. What's happening? They getting their asses whooped. Right, they getting put to death. It's a lot of women. They go celebrate their birthdays, and that same night, guess what? They get put to death. They get put to death. The Lord kill them in a car accident. The Lord have some 2/3 pull up on them and just air that fucking car out. Put all type bullets in their asses. Right, that's the times we're living in. Right, because this ain't the time to be enjoying the world, right? This demonic, satanic, evil present world that we live in, right? I'm gonna read it again. Ecclesiastes 7, verse 4. The heart of the wise is in the house of mourning, but the heart of fools is in the house of mirth. Let us journey to Ecclesiastes 3, verse 1. It says, to everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven, right? What time are we living in? We're in the time of what? Tribulation. We're in the time of America collapsing. We're not in the time of partying, right? You remember our people back in the 50s, right? The 40s, 50s, and the 60s, they do-wopping, right? They just doing the twist. Right? They having a good time, right? They partying. Your Michael Jackson, your Richard Pryor's bringing comedy, right? All these different characters was popping up. Later on, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, right? Your Michael Jacksons, right? We ain't in them times no more because what the Lord said, He's going to bring down the music low, right? The music is being brought low, right? Entertainment is being brought low, right? To the point where nobody want to hear nobody, right? People want to be left the fuck alone. We're in a time where people want to be left alone, right? It says, to everything there is a season. Right, Ecclesiastes 3 and let's start at 1. To everything there is a season, right? A time to every purpose under the heaven. It reads, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to pluck up that which is planted, a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to break down and a time to build up, right? We're in the time of America being broken down, right? We're in the time of people being killed, people ain't being healed. Right, the medicines ain't working, right? The church ain't working, right? The Christianity ain't working. The Islam ain't working, right? The only thing that's gonna bring you, that's gonna heal you, right? It says, these 12 I sent forth to heal the sick, right? This gospel, right? It says, a time to kill, a time to heal, a time to break down, and a time to build up, a time to weep, and a time to laugh, a time to mourn, and a time to dance. Are we in a time of dancing? Are we in a time of laughing, right, and having a good fucking time? No, motherfuckers being put to death, right? Take your ass to a Lil Bootsy concert. You might not go home, right? You got Lil Bootsy, man. That's the most demonic. That's one of the most demonic rappers you ever seen, right? You go to his concert, you might die that night, right? You see, the Lord had his ass in a car accident. He got chest pains, right? He almost out of here, right? We got to pray for the destruction of these wicked ninjas amongst us, right? It says, a time to cast away stones, a time to gather stones together, a time to embrace, a time to refrain from embracing, right? It's the time to refrain from embracing these wicked ass people that you used to be friends with, that was close family members with you, right? It's time to separate yourself from these people. Why? Because they about to be judged. Lord about to visit them motherfuckers, right? It says, a time to get and a time to lose, right? America's not getting. America is losing. The only thing that you could get in this society right now is with this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, right? Anything other than that, what you're gonna fail, because the only thing they're gonna promote to you is what the chip, right? They're gonna promote to you that World War III, RFID chip, World War III. They're gonna try to get you to fuck a robot, right? They're gonna try to get you to eat some abominable food, right? This society is dying. Right, this society is being revealed for being a wicked place, right? It says, a time to, it says, a time to weep and a time to laugh. A time to mourn. Ain't too many people laughing. Ain't too much to laugh the fuck about, right? The prices of everything has gone up, right? The children are out of order. The women are out of order. The jobs are vanishing, right? The president don't give a fuck about you people, right? So what's there to laugh about, right? It says, a time to weep and a time to laugh. A time to mourn and a time to dance, a time to cast away stones and a time to gather stones together, a time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing, a time to get and a time to lose, a time to keep and a time to cast away, a time to rend and a time to sow, a time to keep silence and a time to speak. Right now, you prophets and servants of the Lord, this is the time for you to speak. This is the time for you to open your motherfucking mouths and what? Promote Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, fight for the Lord, right? Fight for the Lord and establish the name of the Lord on this earth, was what that JC is being how can we say, done away with. Ain't too many people giving a fuck about JC. Ain't too many giving a damn about Allah and Buddha and all that other shit either, because it's bullshit, right? You know what people were turning back to? The power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and you got to be an Israelite to return back to that, right? It says, a time to rend, a time to sow, and a time to keep silence, and a time to speak, a time to love, and a time to hate, right? A time of war and a time of peace. We are in a time of war. We are in a time of hate, right? A time of division, a time of separation, a time of what the Lord is visiting this place, right? That's what's happening. The Lord is visiting this place. And it's a beautiful thing. Let us journey back to Ecclesiastes 7, verse 1. It says, a good name is better than precious ointment in the day of death than the day of one's birth, right? You birthday celebrating motherfuckers. It's my birthday. I gotta celebrate. I gotta go out and have a good time and promote myself. Right? You fool, you self-absorbent, self-loving people, right? That's the worst thing you can do is love yourself. You don't love the Lord, but you love your punk ass self. How you gonna love you when you didn't create yourself? The Lord created you, right? And what else did the Lord do? The Lord gave you that perverse ass spirit, right? That adulterous spirit, that envy spirit, that idol worshiping spirit, that satanic spirit, right? The Lord don't. A lot of you people, you Israelites, Lord really ain't fucking with you, man. That's why it says two parts gonna die, right? It says a good name is better than precious ointments in the day of death, than the day of one's birth, right? Because when you die in this wicked, evil present world, right, you get rest from Esau fucking Edom. You get rest from the wicked woman. You get rest from the filthy conversation of these wicked motherfuckers, right? It said it's better to go to the house of mourning than to go to the house of feasting. For that is the end of all men, and the living lay it to his heart, right? Jake always want to party and have a good time, right? This is not the time for that, right? It says sorrow is better than laughter, right? For by sadness of the countenance, the heart is made better, right? Because you're on high alert. You're like, man, I don't trust these motherfuckers. I don't like the spirit on these motherfuckers, man. These people are evil, right? You're starting to see these people for what they really are. You're starting to see this world for what it really is. This world has been given over to the devil, been given over to Satan, right? It says, sorrow is better than laughter, for by the sadness of the countenance, the heart is made better, right? It says the heart of the wise is in the house of mourning, but the heart of fools is in the house of mirth. Hey, brother, man, we finna go check out the Bears play, man. We finna go check out the, a football game, a basketball game. Brother, we finna go on vacation. No, I'm not going no motherfucking where. I got work to do, right? I got work to do. Matter of fact, I ain't gonna see me. Matter of fact, I'm the type of ninja, type of brother that change my number every year to make sure a motherfucker don't have it. Yeah, just to make sure a motherfucker don't have it. This ain't all access. You could reach a brother and talk to a brother. No, this ain't that type of fucking show. We were only here for one purpose: to feed the sheep of Yahweh Shem Shai, serve the Lord, and pray that we do not fucking die in this wicked ass society, right? Because we looking to be preserved, we looking to be saved, right? Because sorrow is better than laughter, for by the sadness of the countenance, the heart is made better. The heart of the wise in the house of mourning, but the heart of fools is in the house of mirth. It is better to hear the rebuke of the wise than for man to hear the song of fools. Jay going to the club thinking he about to go hear some music and end up getting knocked the fuck out. End up getting knocked the fuck out.